Hey everybody, my name is Dan Liberto and I teach people how to cultivate happiness and peace in practical ways by integrating mind, body, and spirit. Today I want to talk about vitamin D deficiency, my own personal story with it, some symptoms of vitamin D deficiency, and 3 ways to correct this deficiency. So, how I kind of want to start is with my story. It's been super cloudy here in Austin, Texas for the past couple weeks, and my mood has been feeling a little bit lower. And I always notice when it's cloudy that my mood tends to drop, and that's just basically due to the lack of sunshine. So, I basically know that when it gets cloudy, my mood drops, and it's time to up my vitamin D. And since I can't get it from the sun, I use other ways to get it, and I'll go into that in a minute. So basically, to start off, the sun is really the source of all energy. It's the source of all energy of everything on this planet. And let me explain that. So basically, think about vegetables. How do vegetables grow? Well, water and the sun. And how do we get energy? One way is by eating vegetables. How is another way that we get energy? By eating animals. How do animals get energy? By eating plants or corn or whatever it is that they feed the animals. And those plants and corn get their energy from the sun. So, with that being said, the sun is really the source of all energy on this planet. Okay? And so, without sunlight, we experience major difficulties in our health, and sometimes we don't link the lack of sunlight or the lack of vitamin D to our health problems. Okay, so I kind of want to go into a statistic here, and it's that 41.6 of people, 41.6 of people in America are vitamin D deficient. So it's highly likely that if you're experiencing these symptoms that I'm going to go into, that vitamin D supplementation would be something to look at. Okay, and people with darker skin need to get more sunlight than people with lighter skin because they don't absorb it as readily. Okay, so here are some risk factors that I want to go into for vitamin D deficiency. Okay, first one I went into dark skin. Second one being elderly, being overweight, not eating enough fish, living in a cloudy place, always wearing sunscreen, and finally staying inside all the time. Okay, so basically, if you're just inside on your computer all the time, in an office, whatever it is, that you may have a vitamin D deficiency. Okay, and how can you tell if you have a vitamin D deficiency? Well, the surefire way to tell is to get a test done. And there's tests available online, kits that you can order to test your vitamin D level. Okay, and the lower limit of vitamin D, of having enough vitamin D, is 20 nanograms per milliliter. Okay, when I was tested, I had 16 milligrams per milliliter, nanograms per milliliter. Okay, so obviously I was under the minimum level. And a lot of the times, the minimum level is very, very low. Okay, it's not optimal at all. So when I saw that, I knew I had to get more vitamin D. And you can do the same thing by ordering a test. So here are some symptoms that I want you to see if you resonate with or if you are affected by, and you can kind of draw your conclusion as to whether or not you're deficient in vitamin D. Okay, the first one is getting sick often. Vitamin D keeps the immune system strong. It keeps the immune system going. It's necessary for the immune system. A lot of people just only look at vitamin C, but all the vitamins are really critical. With vitamin C, vitamin D and zinc being the top three for the immune system. Okay, the next one is fatigue. I've definitely experienced this with low vitamin D. On cloudy days, I do tend to feel a little bit more tired, a little bit more fatigued, and that is just really due to the lack of sun, you know. So fatigue, any level of vitamin D under 20 nanograms per milliliter is deficient. Like I said, I had 16. But you don't have to have this low of a level to experience these symptoms. Okay, so you could be within, kind of a normal range. You could be in the 24 range. I think optimal is around 32. So you could be, within a semi-normal range and still experience these symptoms. It doesn't hurt to supplement and get vitamin D in other ways, which I'll go into in a second. Okay, bone and back pain. A lot of people don't know this. Okay, so vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium, and there's a link between lower back pain and vitamin D deficiency. It can cause severe back pain that limits daily activities. People with vitamin D deficiency are 2 times more likely to experience pain in their legs and joints. Okay, so if you're experiencing back pain, lower back pain, pain in your legs and joints, you definitely want to look at supplementing vitamin D and getting your levels checked. Now, as we go on, if these symptoms start to add up one after another, that is a key indicator that, okay, your vitamin D levels are low. And like I said, 41.6% of people in America are deficient. So these are all just signs, that this is something that you should probably take a look at if you're experiencing these symptoms. And vitamin D is one of the supplements where people are most deficient in. Vitamin D and magnesium. Okay, that's why I covered these two supplements for my first videos here. Okay, another major one, depression. Okay, people with low levels of vitamin D are at great risk of depression. Vitamin D receptors are in the same area of the brain associated with depression. So there's literally, vitamin D is a hormone. It acts as a hormone. And there's literally receptors in the brain that are associated with depression or lack thereof if there's sufficient levels. Okay. The last one I want to go into is hair loss. This is severe hair loss. So if you're experiencing severe hair loss, that's been linked with vitamin D deficiency. Okay, and so now let's go into the 3 solutions for getting more vitamin D. Obviously, the most obvious solution is getting more sun. Okay, so when the sun is out, go outside. Go outside and get some sun. Okay, it's very, very important to do this. And expose as much skin as you possibly can to the sun for a good 20 to 30 minutes per day, okay, 3 times a week for people with light skin. So if you have light skin, you're good with 20 to 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Now, if you have darker skin, you need to up those 20 or 30 minutes a day to 4 to 5 times a week to get the minimum amount. Okay, so that's a lot more sunlight than I know than I get, and that many of you probably get as well. Okay, so but be mindful. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling tired, if you're having these other health problems, go out and get some sunlight. Spend some time outside. Spend some time in nature. Take your shirt off, whatever it is you want to do, and just enjoy the sun. Just feel the sun on your body. Okay, another thing I want to mention is taking off those stunna shades. Okay, take off your shades for a little bit. Let your eyes get some vitamin D. Okay, let your eyes get some sunlight, because the eyes are connected to the pineal gland in the brain, which is associated with the third eye, which is associated with serotonin and melatonin production. So if you're not sleeping well, you want to get that sunlight in your eyes so that your body begins to produce melatonin, and serotonin via the pineal gland. So go ahead, take off your shades for 20 minutes or so when you're outside hanging out. Take off your shades for 20 minutes or so, and just kind of let your eyes get some sunlight. Okay, then you can put them back on and look cool, super cool afterwards. All right. The next thing is obviously supplements. Okay, if you're not able to get the sunlight that you require, it's important to supplement with vitamin D. Like I said, going back to it, I know I've repeated this before, but 41.6% people deficient. And if you're not able to get out there in the sun, which is the best thing to do, and to expose as much skin as possible, get a vitamin D supplement. They're very affordable, not expensive at all, and take 5,000 IUs per day. Okay? So that's the second way to increase your levels of vitamin D. The third way is through light therapy. So what you can do is you can actually get a light that you kind of put at your desk, and you just expose it to your eyes. Once again, going back to the eyes, you expose it to your eyes, and you can get vitamin D with light therapy. So, for people who are really experiencing those symptoms that I went over in the past very severely, definitely consider getting a light and practicing light therapy, along with taking 5,000 IUs per day, along with getting sunlight if you're able to. I know this is harder for some people in the Midwest and in cloudier states. I've lived in Ohio before, and I've also lived in California before, and I've lived in Texas now. So I know the differences there. But regardless of where you live, vitamin D is still critical to your health. So it's important that you get enough. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go into. I'm going to start coaching people here very soon on different topics, basically helping you achieve peace and happiness by integrating your mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to talk a lot about mind and self. We're going to talk a lot about body, which is kind of what we talked about here, and also spiritual things to help you grow and achieve your goals in life and become a happy, fulfilled, and peaceful person. That's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions. And love you guys.